Breaking news. The war between the United States, Israel, and Iran has entered its fifth day, and the situation across the Middle East is rapidly escalating. Israeli and allied jets roar into the night, launching a coordinated strike package. Air crews confirm targets, afterburners flare, and warning nets light up across Tehran. Civil defense sirens wail as operations move to full tempo. New Israeli airstrikes in Tehran, Iranian missile attacks on U.S. bases across the Gulf, and expanding drone warfare are pushing the region toward a wider conflict. From Tehran to Gulf states, flashpoints multiply. Day 1 saw probing strikes. By day 5, salvos and counterstrikes ripple across the map. Hotspots pulse as timelines compress and tensions climb. The coming days may determine whether this crisis remains contained or grows into a much larger regional war. Israeli forces have launched a new wave of airstrikes targeting Tehran and other strategic locations across Iran. Fighter formations streak over the capital, flares cutting through the haze. Precision weapons hit command nodes while jammers mask the approach. Residents film the sky as thunder rolls overhead. The strikes hit facilities connected to Iran's Revolutionary Guard and military command networks. Streets are littered with debris, windows blown out, and alarms echoing. Emergency crews maneuver through rubble, guiding civilians to cover. The scale of damage grows block by block. Residents in the capital reported hearing repeated explosions as fighter jets continued bombing throughout the night. Operations centers track targets in real time. ISR feeds flag leadership sites and air defense radars. Mission cards update as strike waves cycle in and out. Secondary explosions ripple through fuel depots and motor pools. Ammunition cooks off, lighting the perimeter walls. Crews fight fires as night turns orange. The strikes are part of a broader effort to weaken Iran's military infrastructure and missile capabilities. Targeting pods lock lasers onto hardened sites. Weapon timers tick down, impacts bloom, and confirmations flash across cockpit displays. The battle unfolds sensor by sensor. Firefighters push through smoke with controlled urgency. Cranes shift debris as medics stabilize the injured. City services strain but continue operating through the night. Iran has responded with major retaliation across the region. Ballistic missiles and drones have targeted U.S. military bases in several Gulf countries. One missile struck the Al Udeid base in Qatar, a major American military facility in the region. Air defense batteries launch interceptors against inbound threats. Mid-air detonations scatter fragments, saving critical infrastructure below. Crews reload and scan for the next wave. Desert operations centers harden perimeters with barriers and generators. Radars sweep constantly while patrols rotate positions. Communications nets hum without pause. Other attacks have targeted installations in Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates. Across the Gulf, batteries lock onto hot signatures. Night vision scopes track drones weaving toward key sites. Defensive fire lights the horizon. Coastal bases bring shelters online and spin up helicopters. Offshore glows hint at distant strikes. Maritime patrols widen their search arcs. These attacks represent one of the most direct confrontations between Iranian forces and U.S. military assets in decades. Field medics triage under floodlights, moving stretcher by stretcher. Supply lines deliver blood and bandages as dust swirls. Every minute counts. Drone warfare has become one of the most important elements of the conflict. Interceptors detonate drones at the city's edge. Controlled blasts send debris into empty fields. Response teams mark impact points for cleanup. Iranian drones have targeted airports, diplomatic compounds, and infrastructure across several countries. Embassies tighten security, gates close, and airspace restrictions expand. Quick reaction teams deploy while alerts ripple through radios. Air travel grinds to a halt. These attacks allow Iran to strike long-distance targets while avoiding direct air battles with American and Israeli aircraft. Air defenses across the Gulf region have been intercepting incoming drones almost continuously. Mobile drone operators manage missions from compact control stations. Satellite uplinks maintain guidance while timers track flight legs. Coordination remains relentless. Airports across the region post rolling cancellations. Runways shut. terminals crowd, and airlines reroute. The logistics chain strains to adapt. Rooftop spotters scan with thermal optics. Searchlights rake the clouds as dull flashes echo in the distance. Crews report bearings and altitudes. From orbit, hotspots mark drone paths and intercept points. Data layers reveal contested corridors. The operational picture grows denser by the hour. The conflict is now spreading across multiple Gulf countries. Iran has launched attacks toward states hosting U.S. military forces. A distant blast ripples through fences, lights flicker and cameras shake. Security teams fan out while sensors recalibrate. The perimeter holds, for now. Installations harden shelters and move personnel to protected bays. Convoys reposition equipment and ammo stocks. Readiness levels rise across the board. These include Bahrain, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates. On the outskirts, civil defense units deploy. Night sky flashes reflect off towers as routes are cleared. Public advisories urge residents to shelter. Regional maps track synchronized threats and timelines. Arrows trace likely vectors while alerts sweep country to country. Coordination centers share data constantly. A near miss rattles buildings, dust gusts through alleys, and alarms sound. Crews check for structural damage and lingering hazards. Newsrooms fill with live feeds and breaking tickers. Analysts compare claims to satellite cues. Verified information remains scarce under pressure. The widening attacks have dramatically increased fears of a broader regional war. Meanwhile, Hezbollah forces in Lebanon have launched rockets and drones into Israel. Rocket and drone barrages meet layered defenses. Intercepts sparkle overhead while fragments fall to fields. Communities along the border shelter overnight. Thermal cameras catch impacts beyond the fence line. Rolling thumps carry across hills as sirens alternate with quiet. Patrols scan for launch sites. Israel has responded with airstrikes targeting Hezbollah infrastructure across southern Lebanon and parts of Beirut. Urban peripheries shake with distant explosions. Smoke plumes rise between buildings as emergency routes open. The tempo of strikes quickens. This new front significantly raises the risk of a wider war involving multiple regional actors. Patrols fan out at dusk, scopes scanning ridgelines. Helicopters cross overhead while observers relay bearings. Lines remain tense and fluid. The war is also threatening one of the world's most important energy routes. The Strait of Hormuz, a critical choke point for global oil shipments, has become a major flashpoint in the conflict. Shipping lanes narrow through the choke point, danger zones expand, and vessel density drops. Tankers divert as insurers reassess exposure. Unmanned surface craft deploy to watch key corridors. Low profiles and encrypted links extend the fleet's reach. Escorts prepare layered defenses. Sea-skimming missiles trace white wakes towards silhouettes on the horizon. Radar tracks hand off to countermeasures in seconds. Iran's Revolutionary Guard has warned ships not to pass through the strait, leading to a dramatic drop in tanker traffic and rising fears of an energy crisis. Anchored tankers wait offshore while ports idle. Cranes stand still, queues grow, and schedules unravel. Supply chains brace for delay. Insurance rates spike and oil prices swing violently. Traders watch every headline, mapping risk to routes and time. Escorted convoys form with helicopters overhead. Defensive arcs overlap as ships creep through contested waters. Night vision decks scan for contacts. Flares pop in the distance while crews track blips across green-tinted screens. The human cost of the war continues to grow. More than 1,000 people have been killed in Iran, and casualties have been reported across Israel and several Gulf states. Hospitals across the region are struggling to cope with the growing number of injured civilians. Residential towers show blast damage, balconies twisted and facades scarred. Crews stabilize walls and clear stairwells. Makeshift wards expand with IV lines and portable monitors. Doctors coordinate surgeries as generators hum. Vigils grow at memorials with candles and flowers. Families gather quietly, the cost of war ever more visible. Airstrikes, missile attacks, and drone warfare are spreading across the Middle East. The conflict between the United States, Israel, and Iran continues to escalate hour by hour. The coming days will determine whether this war remains limited or expands into a much larger regional conflict. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for verified updates, credible analysis, and on-the-ground developments. Stay informed and stay safe.